Not only can digital production control help you keep tabs on your production rates throughout a project, but it can help you efficiently line out the daily expectations for your work crews before they even get started. The foreman can set the pace of a day on the site by lining out an expected section of a project to be completed. This begins with the selection of a labor cost code. With the focus of your work selected, the foreman can then select several pieces of takeoff to decide where that work needs to be completed. They can do this using the same selection techniques as we discuss in another training video. As the foreman makes this selection, the program responds by displaying the budgeted number of hours it should take to complete that work. B for budgeted. The R displays the remaining hours required to complete that work in the event that it was begun but not yet finished. With this selection, we haven't even begun this work, and so there are a budgeted 8 hours and 14 minutes and also a remaining 8 hours and 14 minutes as well. The way this works is that the foreman knows the number of crew members he or she will have that day and can use this budget display to line out a full workday for each crew member. Imagine that the foreman is working with a crew of 3. They will want to line out a total of 24 hours of work for 3 crew members working 8 hours each. It's recommended that you consider planning for just over your budgeted hours of work, hence the 8 hours plus 14 minutes. That way, if your crew completes the work they have lined out for them that day, your project will actually be ahead of schedule. Once that takeoff is selected, the foreman is encouraged to use the % slider at the bottom of the window to set the crew number. This would be for crew number 1. Note that it will show up as a %, as this tool is usually used to show % of work complete, but in this case we're using it to assign crews. The foreman will continue to go through until he's got all of the work lined out for that day. There's for crew 2, 8 hours and 28 minutes. And crew 3 is scheduled for 8 hours and 6 minutes. Again, it is recommended that you consider planning for just over your budgeted hours of work. That way, if your crew completes the work you've lined out for them that day, your project will actually be ahead of schedule. Now, once this takeoff is selected and you've assigned all of the crews their work, the foreman can print this page out and hand it out to the work crews in the morning. In this way, everyone is truly on the same page about what work needs to be completed that day in order to stay on budget. Better still, when the day is done and the foreman returns to digital production control to document the work completed, if this work assigned has been fully completed as planned, all the foreman must do is click on the control button labeled 1 to 99%. It selects all of the work of the crews in question, and then the foreman can set them all simultaneously to 100% complete. And that's how the foreman would line out his or her daily crew work.